Students, please log in with your name and register number.
Here in Birmingham. Second year students, please log in with your register numbers. Abhinesh, please mention your register number in your login. Rename it. Sir, welcome, sir. Good morning, sir. Yes, sir, right?
Good morning.
Good morning,
Can
sir.
you hear me?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Perfect. Can you please adjust your camera? It is not little bit down. Please.
Is it fine now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Okay.
I think lighting is not proper in your room, I believe.
Just give me one.
Yes, sir. Yes. Students, please register with your register number. Log in with your register numbers. This will be useful for your attendance.
Is it fine now or still the same? Still the same.
Yes, sir. Ma'am, 2 minutes, ma'am. He will join in 2 minutes.
No, it's okay. It's okay. Not a problem. Sir has come, Sharad Babu, sir?
Yeah, he has come, ma'am. That is what. Lighting arrangements I told, ma'am.
Acha, lighting.
In his room. Yes, sir. Perfect, sir. Perfect now, sir.
Maybe I'll just switch off that. Fine now?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Perfect, sir. Welcome, sir.
Thank you
Welcome,
so much.
sir.
Thank you,
Nice
ma'am.
to finally meet you. We have been hearing a lot about you. I'm the head of the department. Really happy to have you here, sir.
Thank you. My pleasure.
Ma'am, shall we start the session, ma'am?
Yes. Please go ahead.
Albi?
Yes, ma'am. Shall I, ma'am?
Yes. Switch on your video, Albi. We are not able to see you. Yes.
A very good morning to one and all present here. Respected guest, Dean, HOD, staff, and students. It gives me immense pleasure in taking this opportunity to tell you about today's webinar, My Story session. SRM Institute of Science and Technology, Vadapalani campus, and the Department of Management Studies conducts various workshops for the welfare of the students every year. One among them is My Story session. It mainly focuses on developing the entrepreneurial skills of the students through real-life experiences and scenarios. This year, the session is going to be led by our chief guest of honor, Mr. E. Sharad Babu, CEO Footking. This session is going to be filled with immense knowledge and real-life experience, which our chief guest has been through. I know that this session is going to help all of us in various ways to take up personal responsibilities and accountability for our choices and actions. I know for sure at the end of this, all of us are going to be super inspired and filled up with motivation to endure our challenges up ahead. And last but not the least, I thank our respected Dean, Dr. Durai Velu, our HOD, Dr. C. Prasida, and our faculty for organizing this webinar, thus helping us know the insights of being an entrepreneur. I now request Dr. C. Prasida, Professor and Head of the Department of Management Studies, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, to deliver the welcome address.
Thank you, Albi. At the outset, let me welcome all those who are present here to witness this event, or the first session of the My Story events that we hold on a regular basis. I congratulate Dr. Prabha Devi, Associate Professor with the Department of Management Studies, for kickstarting this the activities for this particular semester as such. Then, before I come to welcoming the guest for the evening, let me just take a minute to talk about the need to identify an opportunity, convert it, and then inspire others to follow the idea and ultimately take it to the highest level of success. And that is what the guest for the day has done. We welcome you, Sharad Babu sir, for having come here, CEO of Food King, and taking out time to connect with the students and to impart to them all that you have gained as a part of your experience throughout your life. Sir will be connected with the students because of his life story, which moves from rags to riches. The way he has used every opportunity to come forward to take it to the highest level, and the way he has tried to look at risk and assess risk, and then again convert it into an entrepreneurial opportunity. The students today have a subject called entrepreneurship, in which they learn all about this in a theoretical manner, but trying to put this into a practical approach, trying to give this a practical meaning, will be done by Sharad Babu sir today. So I hope that each one of you will pay attention and will be benefited by this session. Sir, over to you.
Thank you, ma'am. Good morning to one and all. Respected Madam HOD, Prabha Devi, Madam. It's my pleasure to address the students of SRM MBA. Before I start my speech, I would like to see the students for 10 to 15 seconds. If you could switch on your camera, like, so that I could sense like what kind of can you just say what do you like?
Okay.
Am I
This is
audible?
audible. Sir, a little bit. Sir, just a second, sir. Just a student is going to read out your profile, introducing the guest to the students. Can I go ahead, sir?
Yeah, please.
एक ही सर पावन सिंसियर है, मास्क लगाने बैठो कॉलेज में, वरना कोई नहीं लगा.
Please, please switch off your mics. Whoever has the students, please switch off your mics.
Yes, Chitrita.
Luckily, the weather is on our side today. The sun and I are pleased to offer a warm welcome to our guest of honor, respected dean, beloved lecturers, and my dear friends to this guest lecture. It gives me an immense pleasure introducing the chief guest of the day, an entrepreneur, a social worker, and a politician, Mr. Sharad Babu Elumalai, the CEO of Food King. From being selected for a secretary of the hotel mess to becoming the CEO of food catering centers around the country sounds very inspirational and successful, right? He dreamt big. That's why today he's a proud owner of Food King with 6 branches in 6 cities across India. Mr. Sharad Babu was born and brought up in a slum in Madipakam, completed his schooling from King's Matriculation High Secondary School, Chennai, graduated in chemical engineering from BITS Pilani. Afterwards, he worked for Polaris for 3 years, went on to do his MBA from IIM Ahmedabad. Food catering services was inaugurated at Ahmedabad by IIM chairman and Chief Mentor of Infosys and N.R. Narayana Murthy. With just 2,000 rupees, Mr. Sharad Babu started operations to the tune of 9 crore and is geared up to double up by the end of this year. In the next 5 years, he is to make the Food King as a source of employment to at least 200 branches all over the country. You're truly an inspiration to us, sir. It's a pleasure having you here, sir. Now, we shall watch a small video clip about our chief guest, Mr. E. Sharad Babu.
Over to you, sir.
We take a great opportunity in welcoming you, sir. Now we request you to take over the session, sir.
Can I start, ma'am?
Yes, sir. Please, sir. Can you please raise your volume, sir? We are not able to hear your voice.
Can you hear me now?
Yes, sir.
Can you hear me now? I would like can you hear me?
No, we're not able to hear you, sir.
Is it fine now?
Yes, sir. Perfect. Perfect now.
Good morning, students. It's my pleasure to be amongst you. Before I start my speech, I would like to hear from at least a couple of you. What is that you expect from the speech? Just to know about you as well. Just give me an introduction about yourself, and what is your basic undergraduate degree, and things like that. So, can I hear out from Rajshri? Rajshri, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. Can I know about you?
Yes, sir. Sir, I'm studying. My name is Rajshri, and I'm pursuing my final year in the domain of marketing and HR. And I am the class representative as well as the placement head coordinator for Vadapalani campus, sir.
Okay. And what is your basic undergraduation degree?
Yes, sir. My UG is in the field of Bachelor of Business Administration, sir, from MOP Vaishnav College for Women, Chennai.
Okay. Okay. And what is that, you're looking forward in your career? Do you have any plans, or is it like you're just planning to take the job, or, what kind of job and things like that? What is that, in your mind?
Yes, sir. To begin with, once I complete my degree, I'm looking forward for job, sir, to gain the work experience, and then at the end of the day, I could start something of my own. But to starting, I would need experience. So I'm looking for a certain job which would fit me, sir, properly.
Okay. So you started your MBA right after your undergraduation?
Yes, sir. Immediately, sir.
Immediately. Okay. Did you do any internship somewhere?
Yes, sir. I've done internship to around 6 organizations, sir. Namely, Ludifo, Radi Infotech, Ariant Intermediates, LifeCell, Radisson Blue, and QS University, sir.
Okay. Okay, fine. So what was your contribution over there in the internship? Did you learn? Did you contribute something? to the organizations you interned?
Yes, sir. I did so. Like for the last organization, I acted as the HR over there, sir, as a HR intern. So then I had to interview the people over there. So for them in the recruitment process, I helped them, and even I learned a lot, sir. And when it came, and I did intern in marketing as well, sir. When it came to marketing, I did blogging as well as understanding about the Facebook taglines, sir. How do you write it and promote your product and services? So I came to know that, and I then even contributed to them, sir.
Okay, so okay. Thank you, Rashik.
Thank you, sir.
Next, Albi, can you say about yourself?
Hi, sir. Good morning,
Albi,
sir.
can hear me? Or
Yes, sir. Please, sir.
People can switch on your video and talk better.
Yes, sir. Hi, sir.
Yeah, hi. You can be as cool as possible. No issues.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, tell me, Albi.
Yes, sir. About myself?
Yeah.
So my name is Albi. I'm from a commerce background. So I've done my BCom from Petition College of Arts and Science. I'm doing my MBA right now in SRM, the first year. Yeah, Petition College. So we have met actually a couple of once or twice, sir. Can you hear me, sir? Sir, are you there? Can you hear me?
Yeah, can you come again?
Yeah, I was studying my UG in Petition College, sir, where I was the chairman for the final year. So we have met once, sir. We both have met once, actually, if I'm not wrong.
Where?
Petition College, sir. Okay, sir. Yeah.
Okay.
So is it audible, sir? Yeah.
Yeah, audible. What is that you're expecting, Albi, in your career?
Sir, I'm looking forward to get done, finish my course and streamline my career into the corporate world, sir. I'm more into the corporate world, the finance side, basically. So I'm looking to take my majors in finance and MBA. I've got quite a good interest in accounts and finance background. So I'm looking forward to take up the masters as finance. Thus maybe getting into the corporate world. I really look forward. No, sir. I'm a fresher. Straight out of college, I've joined MBA.
MBA. Okay. Cool. Okay. So, any dream company you have in your mind?
Yes, sir. I'm looking forward to join Deloitte or EY, KPMG, PwC, because they are the main players in my domain. So.
Domain. Okay. Nice. Cool. Okay, Albi. Good. You're focused.
Thank you.
I'm happy about that.
Thank you, sir. It is a pleasure talking to you, sir.
Thank you. And Albi, what is that you expect from me in my speech? What is that you want to know?
Sir, I'm looking for motivation and that career guidance, which could, Yeah, I was in the committee for this webinar, sir. So I was going through a profile and the details. I was like, okay, wow. Actually, this is way beyond how I was brought up. This is a different line. This is totally a different thing which you've achieved. I'm nowhere close to all those things which you have achieved, sir. So the struggles you've been through, the ways you've come through is all a huge difference when it comes to me, sir. ஓப்பனா சொல்லணும்னா அவங்க சார் கஷ்டப்படுற அளவுக்கு நீங்க 1% கூட கஷ்டப்படுறது இல்லைன்னு சொல்லிடுவாங்க வெளியே சொன்னோம்னா. So it's like that, sir.
Thank you so much. Definitely, I'll share. Thank you.
Sure,
one last.
Thank you so much, sir.
Just any volunteers? Ajmal or Shreya or Shravya? One last person. Ajmal, can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay, yeah, tell me, Ajmal. Where are you from?
Sir, you can audible?
I can hear you. Where are you from?
I from Chennai, sir.
Chennai. Chennai, where in Chennai?
Chulimedu, sir.
Sulemedu, okay. Where you did your undergraduation?
I studied UG at Vaishnav College, sir.
Vaishnav, DG Vaishnava College. Hello?
Sir?
DG Vaishnava, right?
Yes, sir. BCom, sir.
BCom, okay. So did you work before your MBA?
Sir?
Somewhere. Or you also joined as a fresher?
I can't hear, sir.
What I am saying is, MBA க்கு முன்னாடி எங்கன்னா ஒர்க் பண்ணீங்களான்னு கேட்டேன்.
MBAல இப்போ ஒர்க் பண்ணல சார். MBA முடிச்சுட்டா சார் ட்ரைனிங் போனேன் ஆஃபீஸ்க்கு.
ஓகே. இல்ல MBAக்கு முன்னாடி ஒர்க் பண்ணீங்களா?
MBAக்கு முன்னாடி நான் ஒர்க் பண்ணல. MBAக்கு முன்னாடி நான் ட்ரைனிங் போனேன் சார். ஜஸ்ட் ட்ரைனிங் போயிட்டு வந்தேன் சார்.
ஓகே. ஓகே. Okay, Ajmal. So what is your career goal?
Sir?
Okay. What is your career goal? Like 5 years, 10 years down the line, what do you expect out of yourself?
But I don't have jobs, sir. MBA before I worked like accountant, sir.
Okay. Now after MBA, what is your plan?
After MBA, my father will decide, sir.
Who will decide?
After MBA, which work I will do, I don't know, sir. After MBA, I will decide, sir.
After MBA, you will decide.
Okay, sir.
Okay. Why so? Yeah, after MBA, Ajmal, MBA க்கு அப்புறம் ஏன் decide பண்ணுவீங்க? Sorry if someone could not understand English. I think I'll be able to communicate better in Tamil. So MBA க்கு அப்புறம் ஏன் டிசைட் பண்ணுவீங்க? இப்போ எதுவும் டிசைட் பண்ணலையா?
சாரி சார், இப்போ வந்து எதுவும் டிசைட் பண்ணல சார். MBA முடிச்சா சார் டிசைட் பண்ணுவாங்க எங்க அப்பா.
அட்லீஸ்ட் அப்பா தான் டிசைட் பண்ணுவாரா?
ஆமா சார்.
ஓகே. ஏன் அந்த மாதிரி வயசோ?
இப்போ ஆக்சுவலா MBA முடிச்சோடனே இப்போ எந்த ஒர்க்குன்னு சொல்ல முடியாது. அப்பாட்ட கேட்டு தான் எல்லாம் டிசைட் பண்ணணும்.
பயங்கர அப்பா பையனா இருக்கிற MBA முடிச்சுட்டு கூட அப்பா பையனா இருக்கிற அதிசயமா இருக்கு. But Ajmal, you should have your own decision, then discuss with your father and not straight away, give everything to your father and he decides and stuff like that, right? Okay. Anyways, we'll talk offline. Students, எல்லாருக்கும் என்னுடைய காலை வணக்கம். Good morning to one and all. My name is Sharad Babu. I come from Chennai in a place called Madipakam next to Velaseri, nearby Velaseri. And I'm sure a few of you might be knowing the place. I come from there. I was born and brought up in a very poor family over there, and I did my schooling in the same place. And after my schooling, I went to BITS Pilani, which is the #1 private engineering college in the country. So I went there and I finished my engineering over there, chemical engineer. But I didn't pick up my career in chemical engineering. I worked in a software company for 2.5 years, right after my engineering. And while I was pursuing my, I was very focused that I should pursue my management degree. So I tried for 3 times for CAT, and the third time I cleared all 6 IIM. And I was one of the top 10 in my batch out of 3 to 4 lakh people who wrote the exam at that point of time. And I chose IIM Ahmedabad to pursue my MBA degree. I went to IIM Ahmedabad with a single focus that I should start a company and give jobs to as many people as possible, right? And I passed out from IIM Ahmedabad in 2006. Just 1 month before my graduation, I started my own company, Food King, and with just a single guy and just around 2,000 rupees in my hand, I started my business. I'm sure everyone must be wondering how someone could start with 2,000 rupees. Many of you might think I'm lying, right? So I'll just tell you, the secret. How did I, start, and how did I grow my company? And from there, I picked up student business, and I went from I started from Ahmedabad, where I studied my MBA. Then I went to Rajasthan, then I went to Goa, then I came to Chennai, then to Coimbatore, then to Bangalore, and all these places I established my business. And also I started my own foundation to do my charitable work, which is called Hunger Free India Foundation in 2010. And also, as in the introduction it was said, I'm a politician, young politician. I contested in the parliamentary elections of 2009 in the South Chennai constituency. I came fifth with around 16,000 something votes. And again, I contested for the assembly election in 2011. I came third with around 7,500 votes. And a party leader of a national party came fourth in my constitution, Velachery constitution. And there are many things I think, I'm proud to say this thing that I'm the guy who introduced the social media campaigning for politics. I felt that social media could be a game changer for people, who don't want to get into the corruption, who want to show a light to the younger society that without money one could do wonders in election. With that in mind, I took up in India, when people like Narendra Modi and Arvind Kejriwal and anybody for that matter today, when they don't even have a ID in social media, I started with the social media campaigning, and the base was my MBA degree for the same. I'll explain you why and how. Right? I would like to cover everything in everything in a very short format, so that it is very useful to you to take this. Right? See, my life started in a very poor background. I come from a slum. I was born and brought up in a family of 5 children, and my mother was working as a Balwadi Aya in Maripaka. And her salary when she started 35 years back was just 1 rupee a day. And as you know, 1 rupee was not enough for 5 kids and 1 adult. So what she did is, like, she started a small idli shop outside her home. Sorry. Near my home, and I sell those idlis. And then I used to, I used to go to the school, and that was my schedule, right? I was not a very studious student. I was a mediocre student in my initial couple of years when I was in my LKG and UKG. But, I was looking around, when I was just looking around my class, my friends, I lived in a hut. And when I was in my school, when I was doing my MBA, when I was doing my engineering, I lived in a hut, right? So except me, everybody was living in a paka home. Everybody's father had a job. Everybody had a father, and everybody, at least half of the mothers were working in my class. And everybody, everybody had 3 uniforms per year, and my mother used to just get 1 uniform per year. And everybody, when they come to the lunch, they will be very proud to share their lunch with other friends. But mostly, I'll be very, ashamed to even open my tiffin box in front of them, because mostly my mother will pack the previous day food, and sometimes it might get spoiled. So as a young kid, only 5 years old, where I never had such kind of maturity that it's normal. You come from a very poor family. okay. That kind of thing I never had. I mean, 6, 7 years, or you don't have it, right? So, but these experiences, at one point of time, my food was spoiled, and I was really ashamed, sometimes scared to even open my box. So, some kind of, that kind of a feeling I had, and all these feelings gave me a thing that I'm not worth for anything. I mean, there is nothing, not even a single good thing to be, spoken good about me, right? So, this was there right till my first standard. And since my mother could not pay the fees in my first school, they failed me. So my mother put me in a much less costlier school in second standard. And there, what happened is like I scored first mark in one of the subjects. And when I scored first mark, everybody pointed their fingers at me, and every friend of mine said, Sharad Babu is the first mark in this particular subject. And that is the first time, someone except me talking good about me. And one learning I got from that incident is, for food, I had to depend on my mother. For dress, I had to depend on my mother, and my mother needs money, don't have. But once I have the book and I score my first mark, I don't have to depend on anybody. I felt books are my weapon to face the world. So then I scored first mark in almost all the subjects. And throughout my school days, I was the first ranker of my class. But the challenges I had was, many. I mean, I was the first ranker, but every month, then the class teacher will come and say, if you don't pay the fees, just go out and stand outside the class. So I was very confident I have to go outside the class and stand. First 2 months, I didn't listen. I realized my studies was coming down. So then I said, if you don't listen to the class, and if you are angry about the society, about your school, that they made you to stand outside the class and you don't study, you don't focus, you are the ultimate loser, and nobody is going to lose. I realized this fact at the very young age, and I said, okay, is it necessary to sit inside the class to score the first rank? That was the question I asked myself. The answer came no. And also, I motivated myself saying that for the first rank, sitting inside the class is good. Imagine a situation where you're made to stand outside at least 10 days a month, and you're made to take the note standing outside class, and still you score the first mark, I mean, first rank. Now, the class will look at you at awe. You will get a much better edge. So I felt good, and I said, I'm going to score the first. I said, what is required? You should not worry about the pain in your knees. You should not worry about your friends commenting on you, or you should not worry about your schoolmates discussing about you for what kind of misdeeds you are given the money. I wanted to go and say them that I didn't pay the fees, and that's not my mistake. It's not the teacher's mistake, or it's not my mother's mistake as well. So it's a given situation. I made to stand out there. I wanted to explain them, but I was not in a position to explain them. So I realized what others must think about it, right? So time passed. My school teacher supported for my fees. Then my correspondent supported, by giving time to pay the fees, like that. Till my 10th standard, I didn't have electricity at home, but I took it very positively that people who have electricity, they could see everything in their room, including their books. But like me, myself, when I don't have the electricity and I just have a kerosene lamp at my home, what I could see is only my book. So I realized never ever think negative about anything. Always think positive and move ahead in life. So I scored really good marks in my 10th. My first entrepreneurial venture is to find books for my own classmates, for my own schoolmates, and make some money to continue my 11th. Till 12th, in my 12th, I used to wake up very late because I was less energetic, and I was fed very less because we were growing, but my mother's income was not growing. So I used to wake up by 7, but in my 7th standard, what happened is I saw my mother drink water at the end of it. And that time I realized I was little bit, thought that, I'm doing a great job. But when I saw my mother drink water at the end of the day, I realized my mother is doing much, much good
மூடி
job
கிடக்குது பூட்டு போட்டு என்னடான்னு பார்த்தா அவங்க இல்ல சார், அவங்க எல்லாம் மாத்திட்டாங்க. அந்த வாசனை கிட்ட யாரும்
So that gave me the, that I have to really study well, and my focus was to get a job to support my mother. Why I'm saying this is why job and is very was very important for me, and how can a person who had only thing in mind is to get a job switch over to entrepreneurship. I mean, you need to know that. Can someone, I think, ma'am, someone's having their mic on. Can you just sit there?
So you can continue, sir. Sorry for the inconvenience.
So like that, right? So I went to this. I just applied. I got my seat, and I really studied well. I was not good in my English, but first 2 years I focused on my study. I took participation in one of the events where I had an opportunity to play my leadership skills. I had to practice in front of the mirror. I mean, you all know about this, right? You have all state toppers from each. I mean, that time it was 25 states. You have 10 people to 15 people from each state who are all toppers, and to be among them, and like you have all kinds of people over there. So it's quite a challenging thing. So I was not good in my English, and I had to practice in front of the mirror to conduct a meeting. But everybody said you're a good leader, good manager. You should pursue management. And the motivation they gave was, you will get 1 crore a salary a year. I mean, they said if you pursue in one of the IIMs, you'll get 1 crore. So as my dream is to get a job, I said, why dream small? To get 2 to 3 lakhs of job after my engineering, I should dream big and achieve my mother's. I mean, support my mother in a much bigger way. So then I had this dream to get a 1 crore job. But when I started preparing for CAT, when I went to Bihar, just like you guys went to internship, I also went to internship. During my engineering 4th year, when I read a report saying that 30 crore Indian population is below poverty line, which means that they go to bed empty stomach. So that fact really hit me, because I know what is the pain of hunger. Then I connected it with my mother, and with that reason, I said I should not only support my mother, but I should support many mothers like my mother across the country. So that's the reason I thought I should start a company and give jobs to as little as possible. With that in mind, when I came back to the campus, UG campus, I realized I had lots of debt taken for my education. So I worked 2.5 years, saved some money, gave to my mother. I said, don't have to work anymore. You have this money. I'll go finish my MBA and I'll come and support you in a much bigger way. Just give me 2 years time. So with these words, I told my mother, I went to, the third time when I cleared MBA, I went to IIM Ahmedabad. But when I was pursuing MBA, suddenly I had 2 ambitions. To take up a job or to pursue my entrepreneurship goal. Then I realized even IIM Ahmedabad can lazy. Even IIM Ahmedabad can distract. Nothing changed in my life except, getting a very seat in I got a job from CTS, right? So I said, should I take up this job or should I pursue entrepreneurship? Imagine, I had no money. Nothing. I lived in a hut. I had a very poor mother who needs to be supported. If I don't work, the next meal, the next month, we are not sure whether after IIM Ahmedabad MBA, if I don't earn money, I was not sure whether I'll be able to feed me or not. That was the situation. So, nobody will take a risk, right, with this kind of situation. But I said myself, I'll start as small as possible and I'll grow as high as possible. And what I did is, as you all know, in IIM Ahmedabad, during the placement season, we used to have lots of placement meetings. And the companies which come there, like ENY and Jewish Bank, and like all the companies, HLL and PNC, all companies, they give free snacks to the students after they present, why the students join them. So what I did is, I started I started with this idea that I used to outsource from McDonald's, then I used to outsource from a Pepsi or Fruity, or outsource from a local bakery, and I used to just keep say 100 people attending the session. I used to keep 100 plates outside the table, and 70 non-veg burgers, 30 veg burgers, and each plate will have a fruity, then each plate will have a pastry, and each plate will have a chocolate, and each plate will have 5 or 6 cashew nuts from Haldiram. This used to cost me 100 rupees, and I used to charge around 200 rupees to the company. And they were very happy to pay it also, because they felt very cheaper. My thing is much cheaper compared to when they go out, and they also get a variety. And I was the mess secretary, so I had this opportunity to access to the placement coordinator, and through them I used to supply snacks to the company. And within, I imagine 100 students and 200 rupees a charge, it's somewhere around 20,000. And even if I do say 50 programs like this, I easily earned around 7 to 10 lakhs with around 3 to 4 lakhs profit. And with this thing, and how did I get Food King in mind is, the first company wanted a bill. Until then, I never had a company and never had a brand in mind. I mean, they asked for a bill. I need a company, right, to give a bill. So I said, there is Dosa King, there is Burger King. Then lots of kings are there. So why should be a king of just one food? Why not be the king of food? So that's how I named my company as Food King. And couple of National Institute of Design students helped me to design my logo, design my tagline as fashion pizza. And with that, I started. And my first real-time order, as a contract, was to supply tea and coffee to a software company in Ahmedabad. So from then on, I started slowly establishing my company. And the first 5 projects were very small, but later on, when I got a much bigger project, the first project was, as I said, it's 100 tea and coffee. Generally, after even after SRMA, go and supply 100 tea and coffee. How do you feel? In egoistic, right? So imagine after IIM MBA, how big egoistic people we are. So I also had the same stuff in mind, and I said, ego, you go. I don't care a damn. So that's how I started as small, and I realized to start very small, do really good in life. So then slowly, I built up on my business, and in 2009, I contested for election. As I said, I used all the tricks, all the knowledge I got in my MBA, I used for contesting the elections, like social media marketing, referral marketing, word of mouth. You name marketing, you name anything. I use every thing in the book, in practical. Nobody knows me as a politician, right? And so nobody, from zero within 2 months, you come fifth, very highly competitive. It's like a 2-month baby competing with 50-year-old. That's how it works. If you consider, politics and MBA, right? If you consider politics and company, the political parties has flag, which is like logo of the, logo of a company. And a company has a regional marketing manager, regional production manager, regional sales head. You have a branch head, branch manager. Similarly, if you see the political parties, you have same hierarchy, Mavata Chelalar, then Ondriya Chelalar, then Vatta Chelalar, Vatta Talaivar, and whatever. Right? You have all these postings in the political party. And you have to take your product or service to the customer. That is company, right? But here you don't have a product or service, but you have a social service mind. You have certain policies, you have certain plans, which you need to go and take to the customer. And and you convince them to vote for you. So I took that as a challenge, and imagine when I contested a guy who contested for MP, used to spend around 30 crores, right? I spent around 6 to 7 lakhs for that election, and the constitutional limit is only 16 lakhs, right? But people spend enormous amount. Imagine anybody who spends in crores. Why would they spend social? They don't do social work for them. So they want to take it return. I mean, take it as a return, and that's the reason they spend. Most of them who spend like that, I mean, they see that as an investment. Get it back. I find almost all the problems which is there in our country is because of the politics and because of corruption. So I wanted to change that, and I started with it. But as you all know, 2011 I contested again, but my symbol was slate. I mean, there was symbol computer was also available, but I selected slate because if I say computer, it will only appeal to the rich and elite, voters. But if I say slate, it will appeal to everybody. The rich will think it's about education. The poor will think this is the product in which I study. So I was able to convince them that I'm for everyone. So these are all very critical, which I use my MBA brain to solve that. And even today, nobody, no youngster or no even elderly people could contest as an independent and get this many votes in any constituency across the country, right? So I'm very happy, and because of my initiative, many youngsters came in politics, contested as independent. But today, again, I mean, things have become much more difficult, much more money oriented, and much more bias and stuff like that. So I have a foundation for Hunger Free India Foundation. I declared one day as Hunger Free Day. There is a saying in Tamil, right? Pasi vandal pattum parandu. I said pattu vandal pasi parandu. So I declared October 10, 2010 as the first Hunger Free Day. And I used to feed around 10,000 orphans, kids, and old age people. And every year I used to celebrate that. Even today, for the Corona thing, I collected and I put my money around 5 lakhs, and I plan to do lots of social work to that point. And through my company, I mean, I operate in hospitals as well. And the thing which I do in my business, uh, I feel very good and very satisfied about myself. Say a couple of years back, I took one hospital, for serving. They have poor patients coming. They have their attendants also coming. So when I took over the project, there were I used to interact. When I interacted, there was a patient attender who said, mother who said that I don't eat, I just take a tea. I asked why don't you eat? He said even the basic idli is costing around 25 rupees for two idli. So immediately I said, not even thinking about my costing or my profit or anything for that matter. I immediately said I'm going to reduce the prices, and I reduced the prices from the previous contractor fixed price of 25 rupees for two idlis. I set it to 13 rupees for two idlis to 230, and from 300 pieces a day, my idli state went up till 1,200 pieces a day. Again, I don't see how much money I made out of it, but what I see is how many hungry stomachs I could feed, right? At least even if you consider three at least ate by a single person, right? On an average, around 300 people are eating more in my event, right? So that's what matters. And as far as me is concerned, I don't consider how many crores I earn. What I consider is how many people I could change their life, I could bring happiness. And you won't believe I've crossed more than 2,000 functions, as of now, and I've addressed more than 20 lakh people, and the max I addressed was nearly 40,000 people, 42,000 people. I've given many speeches in abroad, and I've given speeches across the country. Imagine I was a guy who could not speak a sentence in English when I was in my undergraduate, right? So when you have a good thought, when you have a vision, when you have something in your mind, definitely you will get your good thoughts will take you to place. And I'm a recipient of at least 100 awards and titles. I'm a CNN IBN Young Indian Leader. I'm a 50 youth icon. I'm a top 50 change agent of the top 20 promising news of the Tamil Nadu, and I'm one of the top 50 alumni out of a lakh of BITS Pilani, and I mean I'm a Lions Club international awardee last year 2020. Then I'm a CNN I mean FCMT youth icon was won by Shah Rukh Khan, Rahul Dravid, then Dhoni, and 2008 I was awarded the same award. So the country's richest person could get it. Even the son of the poor Anganwadi Aya also get it. I wanted to prove that, and I proved that, and many more things. Like that. I'm a honorary Rotarian. I'm an honorary alumni of XLRA Jamshedpur School, so extra, etc. And with this, I would like to end my speech. And if any questions, I would like to take a couple of questions. Thank you so much. And I shared my number as well. If you have any plans or plans or anything, you can always discuss with me. And any questions from students? Just 2 questions. I would like. Yeah, quick. Albi, you have any questions? Albi?
No, sir.
Ma, hostess, video on பண்ணி விடுங்கம்மா.
Okay. யாரோ video சொல்றாங்க.
Yes, I will do it now. Okay, sir. Is it okay now? Yeah. My video is not on. Yeah, it is on. Good morning, sir. I think you will recollect me. I will tell an incident. Some years back, okay, in Madras University auditorium, okay, there was a meeting, Madras Management Association meeting, where I called you.
Sir, before that,
I will introduce. Yeah, I will introduce myself. I am Jayaraman, a faculty working here for the past 12 years, okay, in Assam. Okay, that time, I called you, Obama of India. I got the students' applause also. I think you will recollect that incident. Okay. Today, what is the situation in India? Corruption is not only accepted, but celebrated. Very pathetically, I am telling, today corruption is celebrated. Okay. It is not only recognized in politics, it is, yes. Am I clear, sir?
Yes, sir.
Am I audible? Yes.
Yes, very much.
Today I find corruption is celebrated. Okay. Today is an incident. Okay. I don't want to mention how corruption is celebrated now. You do every corruption and go to jail and come back as Tyagatalavi, whatever you want to mention. Okay. I don't want to mention the names. But in this situation, okay, how are we going to change the mindset of the people that they are accepting corruption and celebrating? Of course, who is celebrating corruption? Who are involved in corruption, because they have to celebrate. Then only they will recognize themselves. So they are only celebrating corruption because they are doing the corruption, they are involved in the corruption. But how are we going to change this society? It has been proved it is possible in New Delhi. Okay, in spite of the win-over throughout India, Modi was not able to do anything in Delhi because people were aware of that. Okay, how are we going to make this kind of awareness throughout India that corruption is completely unacceptable in public life? I think, I suggest, instead of contesting election, if we start an organization or something like what Periyar did. Even Periyar, he refused to contest election because you know very well, once you participate in the election, you will have to compromise. You will have to compromise. Anybody who is participating in direct politics will have to compromise. That is what happened with Vijayakanth, everybody. The party in which you were associated, later on, they have to compromise with every party. So, without participating in the election, is it possible to make a platform to educate people in a democracy how to exercise their vote to select right candidate. Is it possible to create a social organization only with the purpose of educating the mass, not for contesting the election? Is it possible? What is your intention? Because you have said about yourself as politician, but when we get to know politician, we have different meaning in India. That who want to join politics within a short time, they want to earn money. Okay, what is your intention, sir? Tell me, sir.
So actually, whether it is possible or not, it has to be done. That is my point of view.
Okay.
If you say in the past 1 year, right, the rich people, top 10 rich people in India, their wealth have increased 37% only in the past 10 months.
Yeah, that's one. Yes.
The difference between the haves and have-nots have after this COVID.
Yes.
And I know for sure there are many entrepreneurs who are crying in silence. They cannot come and say that I became a failure because of this COVID. And we are not in a position to blame a person or a government today, right? Anything and we cannot blame COVID also, right? So everybody is
we are immediately branded as anti-national.
Yeah, anti-national. So
yes,
even
that's what is happening now.
Even 20 years back, youth were the hope. Even today, youth were the hope. For the simple reason, people, as you said, whomever got used to or celebrating corruption, or used to corruption, they are all little bit older people because they have come to, they feel that they have come to the reality. But people who need to change is people who are young. I mean, because they have their entire lifetime to live in a society, in a much better way. So I think only youth, with the youth power, someone, could change all this stuff. That's my, humble opinion.
Thank you.
And I said, once we get into electoral politics, we need to compromise. And that is one reason, I am a person who don't want to compromise. I was in a political party for a couple of months, so I came out. Even I was offered a seat, but I said I'm not here for a seat, but and for something else, and I came out. But that is another reason why I didn't contest for past 9 years. And lots of people ask me why you're not contesting. When I do, I wanted to do in a real good way, but there is lots of work that needs to be done, for the same. Hope I'm clear, sir. One more question? One more question? Actually, my battery is draining out.
Sir, my name is Sridevi. And I have 2 questions for you. The first one being that I'm just curious if you could just let me know what your day is like.
Sridevi, can you switch on your video?
Ma'am, I don't have that thing in this device, sorry.
Okay.
Go ahead, Sridevi.
Yeah. So my first question is that I would like to know the outline of your day. How busy is it? Just out of curiosity. And the second question is that more words of wisdom for me, probably. That from the very beginning, I've known that I wanted to be my own boss. And my father also came from very humble backgrounds. He went on to start his business. So I've always grown up seeing that, you should stand on your own 2 feet. However, there's this fear that though I want to start my own thing out, there's this fear of will it be good enough? Because there are so many people having their own business out there, similar to what I want to do. So there's that fear. So I thought if I get into a corporate job and then start out my own thing, I'll have a discipline. But how do I get out of this fear of probably failure?
Yeah, Sridevi. Thanks, Sridevi. My day, sometimes very cool, very, very still. I spend my day in the farmland. And sometimes be very crazy, continuous 20 hours, work for 5 days, 6 days. Even this Pongal, after 10 months, we didn't have any business because very little we had, because all the colleges, wherever we operate, is all closed. And now past 1 month, a couple of colleges have opened, the medical colleges. So, lots of work I had to do, and I was really busy, right? And mostly I interact with my vendors, are down to earth. I mean, I go to their place, and mostly vegetable suppliers, and wholesale suppliers and things like that. And also, apart from that, half of my time after my MBA graduation, I was only addressing students and faculties and things like that, professionals. So this is my day like, and I spend my day with my kid and family. So and I commute between Chennai and Erode. So I drive a lot. So this is my activities like. Apart from that, see, I'll tell you one thing. When you want to get into business, be very clear. Why do you want to get into business? See, when I got into food business, everybody, food is one of the oldest or the oldest business, right? But, I got into it. But I was very clear why I want to get into that. To give jobs to poor people and to feed poor people, to earn from my business, supplying to good colleges, good corporates, earn money, and with that, my own money, I want to do lots of social stuff. And I was very, very clear on that, right? So you also be clear why you want to get into business. There might be a lack of people, there might be a crore of people who is I also didn't go to a corporate to get experience. People say you go to corporate to get experience, to get money, but that's not going to help you in your business. Not much. Very little. So but you need to know about the business of yours. I don't know cooking, but I know what are the ingredients, what are the inputs towards the food business. I know to manage the people. I know to manage the vendors. I know to manage the finance. So with these things, actually my battery is almost dead. Thank you so much for the great opportunity, ma'am, and thank you, students. I wish you all the best, and I've shared my number in my tag. If you have any ideas, you can always discuss with me. Thank you so much, and have a great day.
Sir, can we have one photograph along with the students? Students, please switch on your video. We'll have a photograph.
Actually, I have one camera, so let us see if you are lucky.
Okay.
Yeah, sure. Yeah, you can.
Some more students, please switch on your videos. Yes.
Yeah, okay.
I think you have connected with your pin, sir.
Yes, ma'am. I connected with my charger.
Thank you so much, sir. Albi or Sarath, please take a photograph for
yes,
our.
Ma'am, we did.
Yes. I request our Sarath Babu, our student Sarath Babu, to deliver the vote of thanks to our guest Sarath Babu.
Yes, yeah. It's interesting that me, Sarath Babu, giving vote of thanks to Mr. E. Sarath Babu. So we have come to the end of this session. I'm Sharath. I'm here to present the vote of thanks for today's guest lecture. I'd like to thank our guest, Mr. E. Sarath Babu, for visiting and enlightening us with his knowledge. Today's guest lecture was full of knowledge and inspiring facts. It gave us deep insights into the topic and also relieved some interesting facts. The point where Mr. E. Sarath Babu told us about his journey of becoming entrepreneur was really inspiring and informative. I am pretty sure the precious knowledge that you gave us, sir, will definitely help us in our studies and future. Once again, I'd like to thank Mr. E. Sarath Babu, sir, for taking out the time from their busy schedule and enlightening us with the knowledge. Thank you so much, sir. I'd also like to thank our respected Dean, sir, Dr. Duraivel, sir, and Dr. C. Prasida, ma'am, Professor and Head of the Department of Management Studies, SRM Institute of Science and Technology, for giving permission to organize this guest lecture session and inviting Mr. E. Sarath Babu to conduct it. I want to thank Mr. Sridhar sir from ITKM department for providing us the technical support throughout this event. And also I'd like to thank our student coordinators who really worked hard to make this event successful. Also, I'd like to thank all the students present over here for paying your attention and learning. I request all the students to stay back. I'll be sharing the Google form for your attendance as well.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much, sir. Sarath Babu, sir. Thank you, sir. Have a nice day. Yes, sir. Thank you, sir. Students, you can fill up the form. Google form will be shared now, right, for your attendance purpose. So this form will be open for another 10 minutes time. So please log in, get into that link and update your information. Sarath Babu, can you please share it in this chat box now?
Yes, guys, you can check your chat box. I have posted it over there.
Ma'am, it is shared, but I just want to know it is for second year's event, right?
One more for?
Ma'am, it is for second year also, no, ma'am?
Lavanya. Yeah, for both first and second years. Both first and please mention which year you belong to in that form itself.
Okay, ma'am.
Once you fill up the form, you can now leave.
Okay.
Let them fill it up.
Yeah, sure, ma'am.
5 minutes irpa, Sarath. 11:20.
Okay,
11:22.
Ma'am, submitted, can we leave?
Those who have submitted can leave.
Thank you, ma'am.
We will inform about the class now. You can join in your respective classes now, right? So 11 to 11:50 you have your regular classes. You can join to your regular classes now. Staff are waiting. Thank you.
Thank you, ma'am.
Okay. Students, you can join to your respective classes once you upload the information in Google form. Google form is for your attendance purpose. Vignesh, disconnect the YouTube connection, Kana. YouTube live. Vignesh.
Ma'am, inform Panda, ma'am. He'll